This narrow stretch of water, just 21 miles wide, is the Strait of Hormuz. Every time tensions explode in the Middle East, this phrase shows up in the news. And yes, oil is a massive part of this story. Normally, about 21 million barrels of oil pass through this narrow waterway every single day. That is roughly 1/5 of global consumption, but in March this year, something strange happened. Shipping didn't just slow down, it collapsed, and suddenly this tiny stretch of water started exposing a much deeper truth about how fragile the global system really is. The strait is only 21 miles wide at its narrowest point. It connects the massive oil fields of Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, Qatar, and the UAE to the rest of the planet. Under normal conditions, about 79 ships cross this line every day. But after the 2026 strikes on Iran, that number plummeted to just 7. That is an 81% collapse in traffic. Millions of barrels are effectively stranded, but while the world watches the oil prices tickers, they are missing the most dangerous vulnerability. You see, the Gulf runs on something even more fragile than oil: water. The GCC states live in one of the most water-scarce regions on Earth, where renewable water per person often falls below 100 cubic meters a year. To survive, they have built the largest desalination network on the planet, more than 400 massive plants. The dependency is staggering. Kuwait relies on desalination for 90% of its drinking water. Oman is at 86%. Saudi Arabia is at 70%. Now, let's take Riyadh. It is a city of 8.6 million people sitting in the middle of a desert. Almost all of its water comes from Jubail plant on the coast through a 500 kilometers pipeline. If that one plant or its pipes are hit, Riyadh would have to be evacuated within 7 days. That is a 1-week clock on the survival of a major global city. And the scary part? You don't even need to bomb the plants. A major oil spill would clog the intake filters and ruin the sensitive membranes, forcing a total shutdown. The region's main export oil becomes the perfect weapon against its most basic necessity: water. And it gets even deeper. If you look at the floor of the strait, you will find the physical layer of the internet. The Strait of Hormuz sits directly above several critical undersea fiber optic cables like the EPEG and SMW5 that carries $10 trillion in daily financial transactions. 99% of global data travels through these physical cables on the ocean floor. If those cables are severed, even by something as simple as a dragging anchor during the conflict, it causes a digital heart attack for global banking. One anchor drag in these shallow waters can disconnect the digital link between Europe and Asia. So why did the shipping stop? It wasn't just the missiles, it was a group of people sitting in an office in London. The Joint War Committee. Global shipping runs on insurance. Before the war, insurance premiums were about 0.15% of a ship's value. After the strikes, they spiked to 3%. For a $200 million supertanker, that is $6 million extra just for one 7-day trip. The strait wasn't closed by a navy, it was closed by an insurance court. The Strait of Hormuz is several invisible systems stacked on top of each other. Energy, 21 million barrels of oil daily. Survival, 400 plus plants keeping 50 million people alive. Finance, $10 trillion in daily data moving through the EPEG and SMW5 cables. Risk, insurers controlling the flow of trade. When we talk about the importance of the strait, we usually talk about the price of gas. But the real story of 2026 is that our entire globalized world, from the water in Riyadh to the bank transfers in London, is squeezed into a single 21-mile wide corridor. And it is much, much more fragile than we ever realized.